Welcome back everyone. So this is Matrices lecture 8 and also we'll start with probability. So probability lecture 1. Okay. In the previous lecture we've discussed so many questions of matrices and today we have only few, I would say 3 questions to be discussed so that we finish this chapter. Let's jump in to the first question. Now it says B matrix is so and so. Find matrix X if this is the condition. Fairly simple. I'll take B matrix, multiply by itself. That becomes B square. Then multiply this matrix with 4. That becomes 4B. Subtract. That's it. What I get as a single matrix out of this is nothing else but X matrix. Do you agree? Everybody? This means this much is done. Further, the question says, hence solve for A and B. He has given this and he is telling me to find A and B. He's multiplied X with this A and B. So it's pretty simple then. Whatever X matrix I get here, I'll put it here. Start multiplication of matrices. When that multiplication is done, I'll get one single matrix here. That matrix is equal to this. If two matrices are equal, that means corresponding elements are equal. So I'll get first equation. Or I would say something A equals to 5, that means I'll get answer of A, then I'll get answer of B. Got it? Now, next question, that is 30th, we've already covered in the last lecture, if you recall. Time for the next one. This is pretty simple. I think we need not even discuss. Multiply this, get two equations, solve and get the answer. This is equal. Last question to be discussed, 37th. Let's pay attention. So he says, A is so and so, I is given, and this condition is given. A square equals to 9A plus mi, not me, the phone, sorry, it's m into I. So anyway, out of this given equation, he says I have to find the matrix M, which is equal to question mark. Okay. Now, first thing, can you tell me, if he's telling me to find M, is he actually telling me to find M as a matrix? Or do you think M is simply a number, a constant? What do you think? Because I already said it is a matrix, you'll say it is matrix, yes or no? The answer is no. M here is not a matrix, my dear. M is a number, it is a constant, it is a scalar. It is not a matrix. How can I say it? Note one thing. Look at A here. It is capital. That means A is a matrix because matrix is denoted by capital letter. Look at I, capital. So it is a matrix. A is a matrix. So capital. Look at X and Y here. They are not capital, so it means a constant, a value. Similarly here, M is a small letter, which means I need not find matrix, I need to find single value. Anyway, we just understood it is not a matrix, fine. Now let's see how to solve this one. First thing he says, A square is my LHS, isn't it? So this is my LHS, this is my RHS. In my LHS, there is A square. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'll take A, I'll multiply by itself, solve, get one matrix, call it as A square. So my LHS is done. Coming to RHS. In RHS, what I'll do is, I'll multiply 9 with this matrix A and keep it. So that becomes 9A. Now what do I do of this plus mi? Answer is nothing. Keep it as it is. If I keep it as it is, here I've got A square, which I've solved as a matrix. Now I'll send this plus 9A on that side. So that becomes minus 9A. So one matrix minus second matrix on this side, LHS side, correct? So when I subtract, I again get a single matrix. So A square minus 9A, when I solve, I get a single matrix on LHS, which is equal to nothing else but M into I. Okay. Now, very simple. If single matrix is equal to Mi, for example, when you solve this, you get a matrix, something like this. Just an example, huh? You get whatever, 22 and 0 and 0 and 22. So A square minus 9A resulted into this. Just an example, huh? Which is equal to Mi. Now, I can write again as 1100. Now, can I say if it is a number, I can multiply this like scalar multiplication. So that becomes M into 1, which is M. 0, nothing, and also M here. So from here, M is gone. If I get something like this, and two matrices are given equal, that's it. I'm done with the answer. Because this means my M ka answer is 22. M ka answer is 22. Can I say we're done? Got it? Just one thing. I'll leave up to you whether you get a matrix something like this or not. Let me know. Okay? If you understood this, here we finish matrices chapter. Time that we switch to probability. Just a second. Here we are. Probability. Yes, I know that most of the students feel this topic is very easy, and that's true. And it's scoring. Yes, that's true. Let's quickly recall the basics that you might have learned of probability. All right. Simple question. What do you mean by probability? In single word, if I say, I can say probability means either a chance or some kind of possibility. Correct? Chance or possibility. Best example that we give in probability is obviously of a coin that we toss. Correct? Man lo, you have a coin in your hand and you toss it. So what is the chance, or what is the probability, or what is the possibility that when you toss that coin, the result comes as head? Kya chance hai? You will say, sir, 50% chance hai ki heads I. And I totally agree, 50% chance. But generally in this chapter, we do not mention probability in percent. We mention it in fraction. So 50% chance head ka hai and 50% chance tail ka hai. But we don't denote it by percent. We denote it by fraction. So 50% मतलब क्या fraction? It means half. This also means half. Because probability का maximum value is nothing else but 1. The maximum fraction is nothing else but 1 upon 1, which is 1. So half becomes 50% of 1, isn't it? So I'll write it here, half, half. Acha, what is the minimum value then? Probability cannot go beyond maximum value, which is 1, and cannot go beyond minimum value, which is 0. So it can be anywhere between 0 and 1, and including 0 and 1. अच्छा, मिनिमम वैल्यू 0 है, ये कैसे हो सकता है? लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल. अब मेरा मूड हुआ, आई टुक अ कॉइन एंड आई टुक वन मोर कॉइन. ठीक है, सेम साइज, मे बी 2 रुपीज कॉइन, वट 2 कॉइन उठाया एंड फेविक्विक लेके आई स्टिक देम टुगेदर सच दैट इस तरफ भी हेड है, इस तरफ भी हेड है. ओके, अब इस कॉइन को उठा के इफ आई टॉस, चलेगा? देन टेल मी, ऐसे कॉइन में टेल्स आने का चांस या प्रोबेबिलिटी या पॉसिबिलिटी कितना है? आंसर इज 0. डिड यू गेट इट? एंड हेड्स आने का चांस कितना है? मैक्सिमम 100%, मीन्स कितना? 1. सो डू यू अंडरस्टैंड मैक्सिमम वैल्यू कितना हो सकता है? 1. मिनिमम कितना हो सकता है? 0. ओके, अच्छा, सो वी जस्ट गॉट सम आइडिया अबाउट प्रोबेबिलिटी एंड मैक्सिमम वैल्यू एंड मिनिमम वैल्यू. सो मान लो एग्जाम में एक सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन आता है विच सेज, if you toss a coin once, what is the probability that heads turns up? This is the question. Say for example, this is what comes in exam. What is the probability that head turns up? Acha. Now, if I get something like this, what I want to focus on is how do we write the steps or solve. So step 1 is you need to talk about something called as sample space. That is step 1, which is denoted by capital letter S. ठीक है? Now what is this sample space? अब if this is my question, let's understand based on this sample space क्या है. Sample space means all the possible outcomes. All the possible outcomes. तो इस केस में जब मैंने कोई कॉइन टॉस किया है वंस, तो हेड आएगा, उसमें सैंपल स्पेस क्या बनेगा? तो पॉसिबल आउटकम्स क्या है अगर मैंने कॉइन टॉस किया तो? आइदर हेड्स और टेल्स. दैट मीन्स देयर आर दीज 2 पॉसिबल आउटकम्स. सो दैट मीन्स सैंपल स्पेस यानी S will become equal to, in curly brackets I will write it always, it will become equal to heads comma tails. That's it. So this becomes my sample space. So sample space का मतलब क्या? It means where you list down all the possible outcomes. In other words, we also call these possible outcome as events. So you list down all the events. ठीक है? So in my answer, मेरा पहला स्टेप क्या है? मैं क्या लिखूंगा? Sample space. कैसे? Capital S equals to curly brackets में all the possible outcomes. That means events. क्या क्या है वो? Heads और tails. अच्छा, अगर इसके बदले क्वेश्चन बोलता है if I roll a dice, correct? So if I roll that dice, तो sample space क्या बनता बताओ जरा? Heads और tails बनता? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the possible outcomes I list. That is nothing else but sample space. स्टेप 1. स्टेप 2, इसका नंबर लिख दो, कितने एलिमेंट्स प्रेजेंट हैं. सो कैन आई से इट इज number of s that I'm writing, which is nothing else but 2. Number of terms or elements in sample space n of s is how much? 1, 2. So 2. Then क्वेश्चन को क्या डिजायर्ड प्रोबेबिलिटी फाइंड करना है, किस चीज का डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट है उसको? हेड्स का. सो ही वांट्स हेड्स. लेट मी denote that head outcome or head event as whatever with a capital letter. For example, A, where A is heads. ये क्या है? This is nothing else but event जिसको हम लोगों ने खुद के हिसाब से नाम दिया A, capital A. I could name it B, C, D, whatever. So A equals to heads का मतलब A एक event है जो हेड्स प्रोड्यूस करेगा. ठीक है, तो अगर ऐसा है, उसका नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स कितना है? एन ऑफ ए कितना है? 1. दैट बिकम्स माय नेक्स्ट स्टेप. अगर क्वेश्चन ने हेड्स के बदले टेल्स पूछा होता तो मैं सिर्फ ए इक्वल्स टू टेल्स लिख देता. करेंगे नाउ. स्टेप 1 क्लियर, फिर उसका नंबर. स्टेप 2, फिर उसका नंबर. गोइंग अहेड. देन कम्स द फॉर्मूला. प्रोबेबिलिटी, कैपिटल P, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ, सो ब्रैकेट. उसको किसका प्रोबेबिलिटी चाहिए? हेड्स का. यानी कौन सा इवेंट है वो? ए. सो प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ए इक्वल्स टू formula says probability of A will be given by n of A upon n of S always. यानी कि the desired outcome का नंबर upon total outcomes का नंबर. desired outcome का नंबर अपॉन टोटल आउटकम का नंबर. तो डिजायर्ड आउटकम का नंबर यानी एन ऑफ ए, ये मेरा डिजायर्ड है ना, हेड्स चाहिए था ना, मेरे को चेक करना था ना. तो इसका मतलब इसका नंबर कितना है? इसका नंबर है 1. सो 1 अपॉन एन ऑफ एस कितना है? इट्स एन ऑफ एस इज 2. सो इट इज 2. सो व्हाट इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ इवेंट ए? इट इज 1/2. इवेंट ए मतलब क्या? हेड्स आने का. प्रोबेबिलिटी कितना है? 1/2. क्या हम लोग ने भी सिंपल वर्ड्स में उसको समझा था पहले कि हेड्स का आंसर कितना आएगा? 1/2. क्या आया बराबर 1/2? हाँ. किसके हेल्प से? फॉर्मूला की हेल्प से. फॉर्मूला क्या है? प्रोबेबिलिटी इज गिवन बाय n of a upon n of s, where a is your desired outcome or event and this is your total number of events. Did you understand this? Everybody? I hope. So if you understood this, just recall the steps once. पहले क्या लिखना है? सैंपल स्पेस इन कर्ली ब्रेसेस. मतलब क्या? जो भी टोटल आउटकम्स आ सकते हैं, ऑल द पॉसिबल आउटकम्स, अपॉन देन एन ऑफ एस, फिर योर डिजायर्ड इवेंट, वो भी कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स में, फिर उसका नंबर, एंड देन द फॉर्मूला प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ डिजायर्ड इक्वल्स number of desired upon number of total and get the answer in fraction. Did you get it? Just one thing, अगर मेरा फ्रैक्शन का आंसर आया होता 6/3, just an example, तो I can't leave it here. 3 1s are 3 2s. The answer should be 2/1. All right? Okay. Now, one last thing to be told. अब look. Here, sample space you could easily write heads and tails. But if I tell you that instead of, okay, once again, instead of one dice, I roll 2 dice together. Okay, if I roll 2 dice together, then I'll repeat, instead of 1 dice, if the question is telling you there are 2 dice that you roll together, okay, then when you write sample space in that case, तो मुझे बताओ पहले तो आप कैलकुलेट कैसे करोगे कि टोटल आउटकम्स कितने आने वाले हैं? विल यू से सर एक का 6 प्लस दूसरी का 6 दैट इज 12? नो, दैट्स नॉट करेक्ट, बिकॉज व्हेन यू रोल इट टुगेदर तो फर्स्ट डाइस पे 1 आया, बाजू वाले पे भी अगर 1 आया, सो 1,1, फिर 1,2 एंड सो ऑन. तो कितने आएंगे? देयर इज अ फॉर्मूला टू सी दैट. Formula is total outcomes raised to n. मतलब एक डाइस पे टोटल आउटकम्स कितने होते हैं? एक डाइस पे 6. So 6 raised to n. Now what is this n? This n means the number of times you throw it or number of dice you have used. Now, number of times you have thrown इस केस में अप्लाई नहीं हो रहा है. नंबर ऑफ डाइज यूज, कितने डाइज यूज किए? 2 एक साथ. सो दैट मीन्स 6 raised to 2 which is nothing else but 36. Getting it? So that means आपके सैंपल स्पेस में कितने आउटकम्स आने वाले हैं? दैट इज गोना बी 36. दैट इज 1,1, 1,2, 1,3, 1,4, 1,5, 1,6. फिर 2,1 and so on. Answer will be, there will be 36 outcomes. अच्छा, let's make it a bit more clear. फॉर्मूला को थोड़ा और क्लियर करते हैं. Say for example, I roll 1 dice 2 times. ठीक है? इन दैट केस सैंपल स्पेस कैसा बनेगा? मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन है, इन दैट केस नंबर ऑफ आउटकम्स कितना आएगा सैंपल स्पेस में? दैट बिकम्स टोटल आउटकम्स रेज टू n. टोटल आउटकम्स कितना होता है एक डाइस में? हेड्स एंड टेल्स, सो 2 रेज टू n. n क्या सिखाया हम लोग ने? द नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स दैट यू थ्रो या फिर नंबर ऑफ डाइस यूज्ड. अब यहां पे अप्लाई हो रहा है नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स दैट यू थ्रो. कितनी बार थ्रो किया आपने? 2 टाइम्स, सो 2 रेज टू 2 विच इज नथिंग एल्स बट 4. दैट मीन्स द आंसर इज 4 आउटकम्स. सो dice, no, so sorry, this is not dice, by the way, I was talking about coin, so sorry. So one coin, if I throw it 2 times, total outcomes raised to n. Total outcomes कितना होता है? heads or tails, so 2 raised to n, that means 2 raised to 2 which is equals to 4. Understandable? In that case sample space कैसा बनेगा? That will be sample space equals to heads, 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 tails, tails, heads. What last? Tails, tails. Did you get it? These will be the 4 possible outcomes. So what we got to remember, this formula, total outcomes you should know, based on which you can easily come to know कि sample space में कितना elements आएगा. Alright? Okay. So what you people got to do is start with your exercise of probability and solve first 4 questions. Alright? With that, we will end it here. See you very soon. Thank you, everyone.